Welcome everyone to episode 116 of Raw Sport. My name is Ahmed Al-Huli. We're back with another huge show for you all. Our special guest today, Mr. Tommy Fitzgerald. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Ahmed, thank you for having me, my friends. Good to be here.
My utmost pleasure. Tommy, how'd you get into the sport of boxing? What drew you to boxing?
Oh, geez, we're going back quite a bit now. I probably would have been 12 or 13, I would say. And I wish I had an interesting, exciting story for you, but I think a few of my friends were going to the gym, and I thought I'd tag along with them. And yeah, I loved it from day one, and I never left.
How old were you?
I would have been early high school, so year 7, so either 13 or if not 12, turning 13.
Was there anybody in your family that fought?
No fighters. My old man boxed when he was younger, but he never competed. He was more of a football player.
AFL or rugby?
AFL.
Yeah. And how did the family react to you boxing?
Dad loved it. Dad definitely encouraged it at first. I was probably a bit of a trouble-prone kid, and when he saw that that it was keeping me on the straight and narrow, he was all for it. Mum was a little bit harder to convince. She still gets very, very nervous. 14, 15 years down the track. So, but still very supportive.
Social media, a very loud place. How does one stay focused in today's world from all the critics, those watching, judging, doubting?
A lot of people would say to ignore any sort of I suppose, negative feedback that you might see in social media. I definitely don't. I'd be lying if I told you that I did. I read all of it, and I love it. It definitely adds fuel to the fire. So I like to go the opposite way and tune into all that sort of stuff, because it definitely helps spur me through my training sessions.
Well, it's the age that we live in, right? I mean, you need to be on social media to promote yourself and push yourself, but at the same time, there needs to be a way where you can filter out the noise.
Yeah, of course. I feel like a lot of it comes down to pressure. People feel like there's additional pressure put on them when there's either scrutiny or even support in the media, whether it's social media or regular media. But I don't think that has too much of an effect on me. I enjoy it. I enjoy the whole process of it, and I don't think it inhibits my ability to sort of perform under the lights at all.
Do you ever feel the pressure to perform outside the ring like you do inside it? How do you balance the two?
As in, like, during my training sessions, or
No, in life.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, my life very much revolves around boxing anyway. So I guess my life outside of boxing, and my life inside of boxing are very much one and the same. So my day to day, I'm a head coach here at Team Alice in Keilor East as well. So obviously, there's certain expectations of me as a coach to perform well and to provide the best service to the fighters and the regular people that I train. But again, none of it bothers me too much. I think it's a positive thing, and I welcome it.
What's been the biggest mental challenge you've faced so far on your boxing journey?
Oh, the boxing itself is not tricky, because I love boxing. It's all I want to do. I think about it all day, every day. So the actual training itself is very, very easy for me. Even the trickier parts, I welcome it all. It would definitely be just continuing on and staying the course in spite of complications, things that might happen during preparation, outside of boxing, whether it's to do with family, friends, relationships, or just difficult things. Like a few fights ago, I think I had a car accident, and I had to navigate minor car accident. I was fine. The other guy was fine, but I had to navigate getting to the gym and getting around and continuing on without a car, and also in spite of a bit of anxiety that would have stirred up. But yeah, that would be the biggest challenge for me, is just staying the course, irrespective of what's going on outside of the gym.
What's your method to overcoming these challenges?
Mm, I really like to adopt a bit of a stoic mindset. I'm a big subscriber of Stoicism. I've read a few books on it, and I think it's a fantastic philosophy. And generally, for those of you that aren't aware, it's just boils down to accepting the fact that we're unable to control the things that happen to us. All we can control really is our response to those things. So, if something happens that's out of my control, I can just acknowledge it, accept that it's out of my control, and realize that the worst thing for me to do is freak out or have a cry or carry on and just, continue doing what I'm doing.
Wow, it's pretty sophisticated coming from, like, with the utmost respect, coming from a fighter, because I've never heard that before. I've interviewed over 100 people on this show, so that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Not,
So you
not
must be a reader. You must be a reader.
I am. Yeah, I do. I read every day. I love reading.
Wow, there you go. Let's talk a
Not
bit about.
someone who gets punched in the head for a living, but I think I've
No,
accepted.
no, I'm going to be honest with you. That's very impressive. I mean, I did not expect that coming into this interview today. Let me just tell you that. Um, let's talk a bit about the business side. In today's world, there's so many leaps, checks in place, barriers for fighters to actually succeed and become champions successfully in the ring, outside the ring. How do you go about making sure that you balance the two? You don't get caught up into those old tricks that many fighters have got caught up, where they deal with certain promoters who have their own interest at heart before the fighter.
It's a fantastic question, because it is very prevalent in professional boxing, both locally and globally, and has been for quite some time. But I'm very, very blessed. I've got a fantastic team around me. My promoter, my matchmaker, and my coaching team, they handle the vast majority of that, so I don't have to have a great involvement in the ins and outs of opponents, my platform, and things like that. The boys all handle that for me fantastically, so I can focus on my role, which is just to be in the gym and training hard consistently. But yeah, I definitely understand that for some people who might not have that sort of support system around them, that there's lots of sharks out there in the waters, and you can easily become taken advantage of, especially if you're a bit naive. But no, I have full faith in my team, my promoter Jake, and my matchmaker and coach Ty, and those boys definitely have my best interests at heart, and I know that for a certainty.
Wow. And are you referring to the boys at Team Ellis?
Yeah, that's correct. So I'm very lucky. The gym that I work at and train at is also partnered with the promotional company that I fight under. So Team Alice Events and Team Alice Gym are very much for me one and the same. So it's sort of like a one-stop shop for me. So yeah, all the boys at Team Alice definitely do a fantastic job, making sure that not only am I successful, but also that I'm safe. So I appreciate that greatly.
Absolutely. Tommy, take us through those moments where you first come into the ring. You're walking out of the change rooms, and you're walking towards the ring. You get in the ring. Is there a difference in feeling once you're inside the ring?
Oh yeah, when you started asking me that question, I started getting goosebumps. My hair's pricked up a little bit. I love it. I love it, man. Look, I'd be lying if I said nerves weren't a factor. And anyone that says they're not is lying to you. There's definitely nerves involved, but for me, not to get too philosophical, but I feel like my nerves.
No, get. I'm interested in hearing. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I feel like there's definitely nerves, but they're almost outweighed by a massive sense of purpose for me. So During training camp and especially on fight night itself, and when I'm walking out, when I'm entering the ring and stuff, I truly feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm meant to do, what I was put on this earth to do. Not to get too mushy, but yeah, the nerves are almost outweighed by that. So yeah, I'll feel the a little bit of anxiety walking to the ring, but it's far outweighed by the feeling of this is me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my jam.
What's your greatest achievement in boxing so far?
Definitely my last fight. My last fight I was fortunate enough to acquire the Australian lightweight title. So I'm the Australian champion in the lightweight division now.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And that's definitely my proudest achievement thus far. And the fact that it was in a testing fight as well made it all the more worthwhile.
And where does Tommy want to be in 5 years as a fighter?
In 5 years, I do think about it quite a bit, and I'll take this sport as far as I possibly can. I'm all in. It's not something that I'm looking to do a little bit and then, have a few fights, tell everyone that I was a professional boxer and then retire and go do something else. I'm 100%, both feet are very much in boxing. So whatever my potential is, I want to realize it. If that means that I'm blessed enough to get my hands on a world title, then fantastic. That's awesome. And that's definitely what I'm striving for.
Are there any worldly ambitions?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously for most fighters, particularly in Australia and, I guess other countries as well, the dream is to make it to the States, obviously get over there, fight under the bright lights for on the big stages for the big titles against the best opponents the world has to offer. And that's definitely my ambition. I'm not just in here to, have a bit of a crack. I want to see what I can make of it.
How do you see the state of the sport in today's world? Like, where is boxing at, basically? We'll start world and then we'll come back to Australia.
Yeah, on a grand scale, like on a global scale, I think things are looking very promising, especially with the recent, Saudi Arabia involvement. Obviously, the Riyadh season shows and Turkey al-Sheikh and all that sort of stuff. There's very much there's more occurrences of the best fighting the best, which for the longest time didn't happen. People obviously record protecting and cherry picking their opponents and stuff, which I understand as well. But it's very good. It's very exciting in boxing to see, the fights that we've wanted and been calling for as fans for years finally coming to fruition. And yeah, when there's a big fight night on a Sunday, they come on obviously on Sunday most of the time here in Australia, which will be Saturday night in the States, or it might be Saturday night in Saudi Arabia as well. But I look forward to those Sundays when the big fights are coming on. I think about them in the weeks leading up.
His Excellency has definitely delivered and brought the sport to the top. What about the local scene? How are you currently seeing the local Australian scene?
Again, it's very exciting. There's lots of up and coming boxers, lots of young talent coming through the ranks that I'm sure a lot of the general public wouldn't see yet, but obviously the boxing public does. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, a lot of professional fighters that could very quickly become household names if things go their way in the coming years.
Do you like what you've seen from all the work that's been happening through Foxtel, No Limit, their production, regular shows? Do you think that's helped the sport? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I just like the fighter's perspective.
No, of course. I think those platforms are doing a fantastic job at bringing boxing more to the mainstream. Like perfect example is the Premier Boxing Series, which had a deal with Channel 7, and they very recently brought boxing back to free-to-air TV, which hadn't been a thing since, probably before I was born, to be honest. So, a lot of the generation before me would remember, fight nights on the telly. And I finally got to experience that last year. I was very lucky. I was lucky enough to fight on one of them as well, which was fantastic. But yeah, the No Limit Boys do a fantastic job as well. Tasman Fighters do a fantastic job. I know that those guys, a lot of their top boys, like your Tim Zoos of the world, and Jai Apataya for Tasman and all that sort of stuff, they're fighting on big promotions abroad as
Liam
well.
Paro at Ace Boxing as well.
Oh, absolutely. These guys are fighting in conjunction with bigger promoters, like your Eddie Hearns and your Matchrooms and stuff like that. So I think things are exciting, both locally and globally in boxing right now.
Awesome. Fantastic, mate. Tommy, how do you define success? Tommy's finished. He's done. He's mid-30s, late 30s. It's all over. What would determine whether you've succeeded in this sport or not?
Obviously, like I said before, I'll take this as far as I can get it. If that means the very top, then I'll be absolutely wrapped. But again, whatever my full potential is. So I don't want to leave the sport thinking, could I have given a bit more? Could I have done a bit better? So if I can give 100% of myself, to this cause, I'm sure that I'll achieve great things. I'm very, very confident in my work ethic. And wherever that lands me, if I've given it 100%, I won't retire thinking, could I have trained a bit harder? Could I have skipped that Saturday night out with the boys or sacrificed more or whatever? So if I can leave all of my cards on the table, no matter where I wind up, I'll walk away from the sport happy, I believe. And obviously on top of that as well, I'm big on retiring with all my faculties intact. So, I want to be able to, when I leave the sport, string a sentence together and, be able to, spend time with my kids and whatever.
In good health. Yeah, in good health. Especially being a reader, which is...
Yeah, correct.
All right. Last one from me. I'm going to give you the mic. If you had the mic and every fighter or every up-and-coming fighter was listening, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
It's a really good question. I'm actually going to steal this one from Muhammad Ali. There's a very famous Muhammad Ali interview where he was asked, I can't remember who the interviewer was, but he was asked what's the secret to success? Is it sparring? Is it running? Is it bag work? And he said, the secret to my success is dodging, the nightclubs and the drink and the girls and all that sort of stuff, and being in bed at 9:30 with the lights out. So I think that definitely rings true. And to any up and coming fighters that, might be getting a bit of hype around them and starting to get a bit of rock star treatment, just to not let it get to your head. Be prepared to sacrifice and consistently work hard, because anyone that's in the sport knows how hard this sport is, and it requires all of you. So yeah, my advice would be to work your ass off, excuse my language, and to be prepared to sacrifice, because that's what it takes.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first from the man himself, Mr. Tommy Fitzgerald. Tommy, firstly, I want to thank you for joining me on Raw Sport. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in and listened. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tommy Fitzgerald. Take care, everyone.